All right, good morning, guys. Another snow day here, so another Algebra 2 video. Hopefully, you guys are. I appreciate you guys watching them yesterday, but hopefully, we're getting something out of them. We're actively taking notes. We're pausing it when we need to, checking up on our work. So I thought I'd just kind of touch on and give you guys a little bit of an answer key from yesterday. I knew these functions were a little more difficult, especially numbers 5 and 6 were a little different. So remember, f of x and g of x are not always the same thing. Like I give you this worksheet, it could be different on another worksheet, but each time I ask you to find the value of a function, I got to provide that function for you. So just made these two up, f of x and g of x, and for numbers 1 and 2, you're literally just plugging those values in for x and simplifying, which is going to actually lead us into today's lesson, which we'll get to in a minute. But as you can see there wasn't much work, right? For number 3, we had to multiply both functions together. There was no substituting in. So just be aware of your signs. Guys, I could have made a small sign mistake there, but pretty sure I took my time and did it correctly. In number 4, there is substituting there, right? We first got to go to G, plug in 3, then go to F, which it looks like I did not do. I stopped after G. So my apologies there. As I'm looking at this, I see that this one, I went to G, plugged in 3, and I got 1, okay? But I didn't do the second half of the problem, which was F. So I need to now 2 times 1 squared minus 3 should give us an answer of -1. So this was only the first half. That was what G of 3 equals. Which, guys, again, I think, like I said yesterday, we have to understand function notation. G of 3 equals 1. Well, what does that mean? That real simply just means when x is 3, y equals 1. All right? In the g of x function. All right, so number 5 and 6. In these two, here's where we have substituting in, but not necessarily values. We're substituting in the other function. And because g of x was a trinomial, 3 terms, right? This one was a longer problem because we had to square this. So by squaring it, I wrote it twice. I distributed the x squared in each one of those 3, then the -3x, then the +1. I got this long list of terms where I combined like terms, distributed the 2, and finally got my answer. Okay. In number 6, same deal. We took F, we plugged it into G, but again, it was squared, so I wrote it twice. Because we have 2 binomials, 2 terms, right? I was able to FOIL. So I got 4x squared. I got a -4x to the 4th, -12x squared, and then a +9. Distribute the -3. All right, and we eventually would get our answer. So look, guys, as you're watching this video today, you can definitely go back and pause and make sure you're taking notes, you're checking your work. If you do have any questions, if there's something that you see that I did, like a small sign mistake, and you got something different and you can't figure it out, just take note of it. I haven't looked at the forecast for next week, but I'm hopeful we're back in school Monday and we can address these together. All right, now for today's lesson. So, and guys, this is probably going to be our last thing. And then I think next week early, we'll just take a small mini quiz on a few things on evaluating functions, okay, as well as factoring by grouping and factoring cubes, okay? But I just wanted to show you another option for how you can evaluate functions, right? So if you look here, another brand new f of x, and I ask you to tell me what f of -2 means, or what is it? In other words, what is x, or what is y when x is -2? So yeah, by now you understand that we could just plug -2 in for each x, but as you're thinking about setting this up, you're realizing, well, all right, this is a lot longer than those last two problems were, right? I got to put negative 2 to the 4th power, multiply it by 3, then negative 2 cubed. All right, so this is definitely, a lot more than what we had just done. So here's an alternative route. I told you last week that synthetic division is used for a lot of things. One of those things it's used for is evaluating functions. So we line up our coefficients, 3, -5, +6, 7, and -3. This time I put the -2 on the outside, right? It's not like I have an x minus 2 here where we have to find the 0 of anything. This is the x value. So that is the number that goes on the outside. We drop down the 3. We get -6. We get -11. We get 22. All right, so remember, synthetic division means you're multiplying, you're adding, you're multiplying, adding. And when I say add, I mean combine the column, combine like terms. All right, so where was I? 6 plus 22 is 28. -2 times 28 is a -56. Be careful with signs here, but that should give us a -49. All right. 2 negatives here would give me a positive 98. So then I get 95 in the last spot. Now we're not dividing here. So this 95 is not my remainder. Rather, this 95 is actually my answer. All right, this number right here. So if you were to go the old way, right, of evaluating how you knew to this point, you should have got 95. All right. So your answer here is just simply what we called last week, our remainder. We're not giving any terms x's or x squareds. We're just evaluating. We're just trying to figure out the value of y, right? The value of y when x was -2. And it's 95. Let's try this one. So again, we'll line up our coefficients. Right? Whatever that number is, it goes on the outside. It's not the opposite. All right, so we put 1 on the outside. We drop down 3. Get a -2. We multiply. We add. We multiply, we add. Multiply again. And combine that last column. So again, your answer is right here. Okay, it's the last thing you get, and it's 8. That means for this function, right, when x is 1, y equals 8. All right? So you do not have to submit. I'm not going to ask anybody to submit this today. I would like you to still do it because it's only a few problems, but more so today's assignment is just to watch the video. All right, that will be a requirement. And in watching the video, you're checking your homework from last night. In addition to doing this synthetic, we still call it synthetic division, but it's synthetic division to evaluate. And you're going to try these two as practice on your own. Now, remember the rules of synthetic division, right? You're still in need of that placeholder, right? Should something be missing. And in f of x here, we got 4, 3, 2, x to the first. Looks like we're good. But be mindful in g of x, all right? Because you're going to need that placeholder. All right, guys? So, watch this video today. We'll check in to start class, okay? Just do a quick Google Meet. And from there, you guys can watch the video. But until then, all right, I'll talk to you guys then. And all right, thanks.